Greetings, Miss Snarky J. This is Wolf coming to you live, well, kind of live, I guess, from the great American Southwest. And I wanted to take a minute to tell you a little story about the Ren Fest. You're a very busy person, so I'm going to try to keep my focus here and not go all over the place and watch the time clock here on the recording. So, I mentioned this before, and if you didn't catch it, it's okay. I know you've got a lot of people that are commenting on your channel and so on and so forth. But my contribution to the world in the arts has always been through music. Just like you, I was a kid in band. I chose to go with drums, and I stayed with that forever. And I still play, of course. But as the years went by, I actually learned how to write songs and put things together. And my very best friend, who's actually more like an older brother to me, he's the epitome of a Renaissance man for this day and time. You know, he draws his lyrical inspiration from writers like Percy Shelley, and he can drop any wild game, including a pheasant, at 100 yards or more with a compound bow. So I don't think it gets much more Renaissance than that. And he's a great guy. I mean, everything that I ever learned about how to move in certain social circles and how to dress and just having good taste and, you know, how to order drinks and all that kind of stuff I learned from him. And so he's really into the Ren Fest, and we used to go out there, the band that we were in, and you gotta keep in mind right off the bat, everybody in this group is tall, thin, and striking. And visually, at least back at that time anyway, we were always kind of channeling Anne Rice before it was the hip thing to do. And so we knew how to kind of do just a little bit of like theater powder and stuff on our faces for those of us who had like a little bit darker skin. And so basically we knew how to look that way without actually looking like we had done anything, to make it happen through human hands or whatever. So we roll out there and we're just decked out. I mean, my outfit, I think at the time, if I remember correctly, I'd picked up a it's like below the knee, like a long dark. It was actually a what was it? Yeah, it was like a Salvation Army workers coat from like 1933 or something like that. But we had, all these cool vintage clothing shops when they were first starting to hit, and you didn't have to pay a whole lot of money to get some really good stuff. So anyway, we're all out there. We're looking the part. And, I'd never really been to anything like that before. And I really enjoyed checking it out. It was a lot of fun. But the thing I really liked about it the most is that, like, we'd go out there and, like, we couldn't go anywhere without eyes following us everywhere that we went, which is kind of what you're going for when you're doing something like that. But the best part of it was we never paid for a single drink out there. I mean, the women that were serving the beer, they were like more than happy to just shovel, Budweiser down our throats all day. So we had a lot of fun when we go out there, and it was really kind of cool because like we'd be walking along and like, some couple would be there, young girl or maybe older woman or whatever. And they just couldn't keep their eyes off of us, And you could tell their man was getting kind of a little annoyed by the whole thing. But we're all like four dudes that, we're middle America guys. We're not race, we're all, looking the part. We're pretty built. We roll into the place looking like kind of our version of the Lost Boys in a way, which is also a little bit of a visual draw. I was really influenced by that movie visually. I thought it was just fantastic. Not a big fan of the two Coreys, but I realized they had to kind of put that in there for the teeny bopper girls and stuff at school. So, but yeah, man, I remember that when it came out. God, that movie is so cool. I love that. I love that shot of all of them up in that tree. We actually went out and found a tree that looked really similar to that for one of our photos, and we were all like, each different spots in the tree. It's very cool, very cool. Good time. So we always had a good time out there, and if that weren't enough, what they would do is it would close down by, I think, well before Halloween, like a couple of weeks. But because this is the Ren Fest, they don't want you to see anything, within eye shot that's modern looking, like chain link fence, for example. And we knew a way to get back in there because this place was like way outside of the city. And this was in Kansas City, Missouri, back in the day. And we knew how to get to the back end of everything, and there was nobody out there anyway. It's like farmland surrounding this place, and we knew of a spot that a friend of ours had showed us where he and his little ragamuffin friends they just go in through this spot in the fence. So what we did, and this went on for like a couple of years. Now, you couldn't get away with this today because there's like surveillance everywhere and it's so cheap. But back then, no way. If you were able to get down the road without any farmers seeing you, or just keeping it, turn your lights off and cruise down by the moonlight. So Halloween, we would bring out like everybody out there. We would stagger everybody out, and we'd go into that spot, and the whole place was ours, and we just had such a great time. It was a really cool place to be, very cool. But that's what your video reminded me of. It's been a long time, since I'd been to one of those, and it's still something I would enjoy doing. But the city that I associate that with, I don't live there anymore. I'm in the Southwest now. I'm still with my best friend, and we're still writing, and we've got some things coming up actually. So I never stop creating. I never stop being an artist. I'm not going to ever stop doing that. In fact, it's like if you stick at it and you keep getting better and better at writing songs, you don't ever want to stop. You want to keep doing it. And I was thinking maybe down the road when we're getting ready to record a big backlog of music in addition to some new stuff as well. And if you're interested, I'd like to get your take on it, because I think in terms of taste and style and just what I've seen from you in your videos, I think you'd be a really good sounding board for it. So we'll see. Other than that, really loved the video. You did a great job as always. And I know it's been said many times, but I think it bears repeating. I think it's great that you're doing this stuff with your dad. That's very cool. Believe me when I tell you, a day will come down the road when you'll look back on that and you'll realize it and see it for the treasure that it is. So keep doing what you do. You're doing a great job. All right. Hope you enjoyed that and tried not to go too long. Looks like we're a little over 10 minutes, so I will cut it short at that. You have a great night, Miss Snarky J, and I will be watching you from afar. Good night.